Man, that's why I asked you on the show, man. I'm gonna give you the flowers. I like what you're doing, bro. I'm fully entertained. Fully entertained.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that, bro. I've been like,
yeah.
It started off as a dream, bro. It started off as a tribute to my dead friend. That's really where it started off at, man.
Break that down. Break that down. How'd you really start? What got you in the mind? Like, okay, I'm about to start a Twitch channel. Like, how did that happen?
I'm gonna take you to the top.
I know we jumping all over the place. This is all good. I want to get this one. I'm gonna shut up too.
I even got to readjust my ass in the seat. Yeah, but yeah, it all started when I lost one of my best friends by the name of Joe. I even got an emote in my channel, the R.I.P. Joe emote.
Okay.
Yeah, he had met this random heifer. Yeah, I'm gonna call her heifer.
Go ahead. It's okay.
Met this heifer, and I guess they was having relations or whatnot, and just so happened this heifer stayed on the same street that he grew up in, the same house that I used to go kick it with him when we was young. Now, granted, his people been moved off that street.
Okay.
But she moved on the street, and her mama stayed in the same exact house that he grew up in.
Wow. Okay.
Peep this. All right. So one day, my boy get a call late at night, and he was literally staying with his T. Jones. If you don't know what I mean by T. Jones, that means your mama. He was staying with his mama at the time.
Okay.
He was asleep. So his mama heard his phone going off, and he finally decides to pick it up. He picks up his phone, and it was this heifer. She was like, hey, you got some weight? Just like old heifer ass, trifling ass, nothing ass bitch.
Yeah.
You got some weight? Hey, I'm finna come pick you up, looking ass.
Okay.
So he finally woke up. He put it on his clothes and shit. And she came to pick him up, and he left with this bitch, man. And not knowing, this bitch just got through killing and murdering her sister.
No. God.
Bruh, she drove all the way to the other side of town just to go shoot her sister in the head, bruh, in cold blood at her place of residence.
God dang.
Yeah. So she shook behind this shit. She called my boy. Hey, I'm finna come pick you up. You got some weed? So she come through, pick him up. She take him to her place. Granted, she stay a couple of houses down from where he grew up at.
Okay.
So he back in the old hood where we grew up at, he thinking it's all good. Yeah, you gonna always feel comfortable in your own hood, regardless of who you with, or even if you moved out, So, and yeah, she took him there. They had sex.
Damn, she fucking after.
Bruh, they found my dude butt naked with a condom on an air mattress. And his phone was in a bloody cloth in the trash can.
What?
When they found my dude, man. Butt naked with a condom on. Like he literally just got through fucking this bitch. And she must have pulled out a gun, shot him. I think she shot him like 3 times, bro.
The fuck?
3 times, bro. I ain't like, how you gonna be thinking you gonna end your life after you getting some pussy, bro? Like, come on, man. You tell me only form of worrying about your life after you get some pussy is whether this bitch got some type of disease if you went naked head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You ain't thinking about no motherfucker pulling out no gun shooting you. Like, come on, man. This dude didn't deserve that, man. And that's how she did him, bro. And guess what she did after she killed him?
Right.
She went 2 houses down to the house that her mother and her stepfather lived in, which is the same house that my boy Joe grew up in. Let herself in because she had a key. Shot her stepdaddy in the head and shot her mama in the head.
What?
Yes, this bitch was crazy, bro.
What the fuck? What's the reason? What was the like?
Nobody know. Nobody know the reason.
So she murdered 4 people that night?
She killed 4 people. No, she killed more than 4 people. Let me finish the story.
God.
After she shot her stepdaddy and her mother in the head while they was in the bed sleep, which her mother didn't die right away, but she ended up dying like a couple of days later. But she decides then to pick up the phone and call her niece, which is the daughter of the sister that she just got through murdering. And she told her niece, she like, hey, make sure my kids don't get split up. I just ended up hurting like 4 people.
What?
She didn't tell her niece who. She wasn't Pacific. She literally just gave her niece that message. Like, I'm quite sure once her niece found out who she murdered, she was like, bitch, fuck you. Like, how the hell you gonna tell me that shit after you done killed my mama? You know what I mean? So after she did that, she hung up the phone, she killed herself. It was a murder-suicide.
Damn.
She killed 4 people and then she killed herself, bro. She died right there in the living room where my boy grew up at. While my boy was a couple of houses down, dead, butt naked, with a condom on a fucking air mattress, man.
Man, God bless, man. God.
And literally, once that shit happened to me, that shit kind of changed my life because that shit hit me pretty hard because, like, literally the last time I kicked it with him, I caught it on video.
Wow.
I caught it on video. He was freestyling. He was in a good mood. Everything was perfect, bro.
Yeah.
And I just so happened to catch it on video, mainly because you ever heard of an app called Glide?
Glide, yeah. Yeah, I remember Glide.
You heard of the Glide app? It's like a video text app.
Yeah, I remember Glide, yeah.
You send video messages, yeah. Yeah, I was sending video messages to a mutual friend of ours because it literally had been a while before I seen him until I ran into him that day. So I'm like, hey, man, look who I got with me right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm showing a mutual friend of ours, and he like, what? Where the fuck you find this motherfucker at?
Yeah.
Yeah, we was smoking and drinking and shit, and he just got in his natural element from childhood, back when he used to always freestyle. Both of them boys used to be some freestyle kings out here, man. Like, man, the boys should do their thing.
Yeah.
I got a lot of that shit. I don't know if you ever seen it, but I got a lot of that shit on my actual stream. Like, next time you come to my stream, I'll play some of it for you.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, man.
God.
Yeah, she took him out like that, man. She took him like, and that shit literally killed my whole spirit to even touch a controller, bro. I literally didn't play a video game for like damn near almost a year after that.
That's
like I stopped gaming. Like I would literally come home every day and play the game.
Yeah.
Like I stopped gaming. I went cold turkey, bro, for a year. Like I even had a news interview done about this shit, bro.
It just sounds so random. Like
it was super random, bro. And it was pissing me off and burning me up because every time I would look at the news, they would talk about her killing her family and this random unknown man. Because he didn't have his ID on him when the story first broke. Like, so he was the unidentified guy.
Damn.
But every time I look at the news, they're talking about the story, which I knew what the story was about. Once I found out what the story is about, I'm like, why they ain't never saying my dude's name, bro? Like, come on, man. Like, because literally, if you say his name and people hear the story, because this story, when the story actually happened, like for a good week or two, like that shit was top news in Houston. So if his name would have been in the story when it first broke, a lot of people would have been able to come pay their respects at the funeral.
Right.
You know? See, a lot of people, I didn't know, man. Like, yeah, of course, yeah. It took a whole week for them to put this man's name in the story. And like, it literally took me The day of his fucking balloon releasing. Because his mom put me in charge of the balloon releasing. And I went out there and got a helium tank, and she said she wanted to have it at the actual house he got murdered at. Because that's not, shit. Wow. And that's where we had it. I rallied everybody on Facebook. Everybody I could actually rally. They knew about him and shit, and told them we meeting up on this date. You know what I'm saying? I hope everybody be there. And she told me the colors of the balloons that she wanted me to get. I did all that shit, man. And it wasn't a huge gathering, but it was. I feel like the people that was there are the people that mattered the most.
Right.
I feel like they didn't want us to matter the most. And that night when I went to bed, after that shit, it was just burning me up. I just sent the email. I sent the email to Click 2 Houston, which is a news station out here.
Okay.
I'm like, this story y'all got going on about Dakita Holmes.
Following all day, 4 people killed in what investigators are calling a murder-suicide. 29-year-old Dakita Holmes is believed to have shot and killed 3 members of her own family before she took her own life. The investigation spans 2 counties and 3 different homes, 1 in Fresno and 2 on Mount Pleasant Street. That's near Scott in Houston's South Side. Channel 2's Brandon Walker joins us live now with the very latest on the investigation. Brandon.
Yeah, Jonathan, and we just checked with investigators. They tell us that they're still working to figure out the motive, but friends and family tell us that Holmes, the woman who is responsible for all of this, of late had some issues that she was dealing with. Families say, though, that is no justification for what she is accused of doing today. Friday's shooting spanned 2 counties. First, investigators say Holmes shot and killed her sister, 48-year-old Carolyn Holmes, at her house in Fresno, Fort Bend County. Then Holmes drove back home to southeast Houston, Mount Pleasant Street. While there, police say Holmes shot an unidentified man who was inside her home. And friends and family tell us before Holmes took her own life, she made a phone call to a sister of hers, telling her to take care of her 3 children and to make sure, as far as she could, that all 3 stay together. We are live tonight. I'm Brandon Walker, KPRC Channel 2 News.
Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, the unknown guy that's in that story, he got a story too. So if y'all want to get this man's story out there, man, I'm making myself accessible to where we could talk it out, to where we can get this man's name in the story, because I'm not appreciating every time I see this goddamn story, y'all act like y'all don't even know who the fuck.
They treat him like a John Doe. Yeah.
Like, it's just like, come on, man.
Yeah.
A good dude just got murdered for no fucking reason. This man had kids.
God.
Man had 2 daughters, man. Like, come on, that shit really pissed me off, man.
I bet it did burn you up.
But when I sent that email, guess what happened when I woke up the next morning?
What? They got it right.
I got an email back.
Okay.
They said, hey, I told them his funeral is tomorrow at such and such spot. If y'all want to do an interview, I will be there, and I would gladly do an interview with y'all just to get part of his story out, man. Mm-hmm. Like his family was so distraught about it. Like they didn't care. They wasn't trying to reach out to no local news.
Yeah.
They just wanted to reach out to the fucking police and try to find out what the fuck, what happened? Like, why? The news is the last person they want to read. They was trying to reach out to the police.
Right.
Help us figure out what the fuck happened.
Like, what happened?
Where this happened, you know? So I'm like, fuck it. If they ain't gonna worry about that end, I'm gonna handle that for them. So, yeah, they was there before I was. Like, they was literally waiting on me at the funeral. No, the news. Yeah, they was They was there before me. Like, soon as I got out the car, they was ready to do the interview and shit.
Yeah, Jonathan, and what's tough here, what investigators have told us, is figuring out that motive is complicated because the person responsible for this, 29-year-old Nikita Holmes, is not alive herself. She took her own life. That said, this family wants to know why Holmes shot not one, not two, not three, but 4 people before killing herself.
He was just a great guy.
By no means are funerals easy. Goodbyes as they come hurt. This one sure did.
One of my best friends.
Meet Earlis Thompson. He buried his best friend today. Joshua Murphy, better known as Joe, died last Friday. One of 4 people killed in a murder-suicide no one understands.
I couldn't believe it.
Murphy's best friend included.
We need answers. We need answers. We need some kind of answers to come out.
Police, too, are looking for those answers. Problem is, the gunman, 29-year-old Nikita Holmes, is dead as well. Holmes took her own life last Friday after Houston police say she fatally shot Murphy, her own mother, sister, and her mother's boyfriend. Thompson says he didn't know Holmes well.
I just know he recently met her, like, maybe a few weeks ago. Like, he only knew her for a few weeks.
No matter how long she knew him, Holmes shot Murphy dead inside her home. Tonight,
everywhere he go, everybody loved him.
Joe Murphy's best friend, his family, simply want closure. In its place, they got a funeral.
I really want to get his name out there so people can see that his life mattered. He was a good guy.
And Thompson went on to say that Murphy was a rapper, was beloved by everyone, and most of all, he'll be missed. We are live tonight. I'm Brandon Walker, KPRC Channel 2 News.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
Man, I just want to be super sensitive, and I don't want to ask too many questions, man. I just want to say, man, my condolences. And I think that is beautiful what you're doing. You know, every day you play. Oh, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
No, there ain't no problem. I noticed something when I said in the interview, like I wish you actually had it on file to actually play in the stream, the podcast, but I said something that I want to keep his name alive.
Okay. Yeah.
Because he was a good dude.
Right.
And literally at the time when I said that, I wasn't a streamer. I had just lost my passion for even playing video games.
You knew you wanted to do something though. You just...
So how the fuck am I gonna keep his name alive? So literally a year after, damn near a year after that interview, one day I'm just sitting up watching YouTube, watching one of my favorite Call of Duty YouTubers.
Okay.
By the name of Merciless Badass.
That's my dog.
Oh, you know about Merciless Badass?
He's been on the show, man. That's my dog. Yeah.